Hey y'all, welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. It is your girl Rashida. And y'all, it is fall season. And with fall season, I like to make those comfort meals. And today I'm making broccoli and cheddar soup. Homemade broccoli cheddar soup. How good is that? How delicious is that? Let me show you how I made it. I have a few ingredients right here. Of course, some broccoli. I have some carrots, chicken broth, half and half. Of course, some cheddar cheese, onion, a little bit of garlic, butter, and flour. Let's get started. Alright, to get started in my Dutch oven, I'm melting 4 tablespoons of butter. The first thing I'm doing is making like a roux, and that's a butter flour mixture. I'm going to saute the onions and garlic in this, and that is the roux. That is the thickening agent that will help to thicken, slightly thicken, this creamy soup. So right now I'm melting the butter. Then I'm going to add in my onions, and I'm using about a small onion or about a half a cup, a little over a half a cup of diced onion. I'm going to let this saute for just about a minute or so, and then I'm going to add in 2 cloves of garlic. Once again, let that saute for about another 30 seconds to a minute. So right now, in that butter, I'm adding my onion, and then I'll be adding in my garlic, and I'm just going to mix that up. Let that saute for a couple of minutes. Next up, I'll be adding in the flour. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I love garlic. I love garlic and butter. I love garlic. So, of course, I didn't overpower this. I only put 2 cloves. But in most of my dishes, if I can add in a little bit of garlic powder, I'm going to do it. All right, now I'm adding in a quarter cup, just a quarter cup on this one because it was a quarter cup of butter. That's 4 tablespoons. Then I'm adding in my quarter cup of flour, and this is the roux. This is the roux. You, like I said, roux is the thickening agent. Another time when I make roux is when I make gumbo, but you have to cook that roux for a long time till it's nice and dark. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting sidetracked. So I cooked my roux together, the butter, the flour, then I have the onions and garlic. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper, just a little bit. I believe in flavoring from the bottom up. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper for right now, not a whole lot, just a little bit. So once I add my salt and pepper, then we're to the next step. This is really easy to make. After I add in my salt and pepper, then I'm going to add in my chicken stock. Flavors, flavors, flavors. We don't want it to be bland at all, so we just add a little salt, enhances the flavor, and then pepper, of course, accents the flavor. Okay, right here I'm adding in 2 cups. 2 cups of chicken broth, chicken stock, whichever one you have on hand. We want 2 cups of that. Meanwhile, my fire is on like a medium high heat. And we want all this just to start cooking together. The liquids are chicken stock and half and half. You could use heavy cream if you like. I find half and half to be a little bit easier on the system. Heavy cream is very heavy. So I'm using that chicken stock, and then I'll be adding in 2 cups of half and half. So 2 cups of chicken stock, 2 cups of half and half, and that makes it nice, rich, and creamy. And I'm going to cook this probably for about 15 minutes. But before I get started with the heavy duty cooking, I'm going to add in the rest of my ingredients. Okay, next up, going in the pot is going to be one of those main ingredients. That is the broccoli. I'm going to add in the broccoli and carrots. As you see, I'm just adding a little bit more salt and pepper, just a little bit, it's not a lot at all. And then I'm going to add in the broccoli, the carrots, because I want those to cook and start to get tender. So I have 4 cups of broccoli, and I like the broccoli florets. I prefer fresh broccoli, but you definitely can use frozen. And it's like I said, it's about 4 cups of broccoli right there, and about a cup to a cup and a half of the diced up carrots. And I'm going to let these cook about 15 minutes till they're fork tender. And that's the consistency that I want them to be before I move on to the next step. So right now the broccoli and carrots are added to the pot, and we're going to cook these in our stock, in our creamy stock, for about 15 minutes. So right now I'll let you just watch that process. You can see how it transformed. Right now I'm just trying to make sure everything is under that liquid as best as possible. I'm going to cook this on medium to high heat. I want to see that boil. I want to see it come up to a nice boil. And like I said, this is really an easy soup to make. It's not hard. Just has a few steps, but you can make it in less than an hour. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes in, and I decided to give the veggies a check just to see how far along they're coming. We're about 10 minutes in. They're almost at that consistency, not just yet. Almost there, probably need just about 5 more minutes. All right, this is what I like to see. You see the liquid has reduced just a little bit. They are fork tender. So the next step is to get the emulsion. I can never pronounce it right. Emulsion? No, it's not emulsion. Oh my goodness. I'm getting my little hand blender. How about that? I'm getting my hand blender and I'm going to blend this. I'm combining everything. That's how you get that smooth, creamy soup. But I'm going to only mix it probably about 80%. I like to leave a little bit of the nice chunks, a little bit of the chunks in there. So I'm using my emulsion blender. Okay, actually, I think I am saying it right. So I have mixed up my soup. We are at the end almost. We have one more important ingredient to add. Once I've mixed that to the consistency, now you can completely mix it and make everything smooth. But the last and final ingredient is that cheese. I'm using 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. This one makes it broccoli and cheddar soup, y'all. This is so good. So that only takes about a couple of seconds to mix, as you see right there. So I'm just stirring this well, combining everything. And once everything is mixed, I will do just a little taste test just to see if I need to add anything else before it goes into the bowls. You definitely want to get your little side of sourdough bread if you like to go with it. You can make some croutons. That's great with it also. As you see, I did leave a couple little chunks, and that's okay. You make it however you like it. I do like to have a little bite in there, but you can also make it completely smooth with your blender. If you don't have an emulsion blender and you have just a regular blender, you can put the soup in there and just mix it. Or if you have a food processor, you can also put it in there and mix everything and make it smooth. So right now, the last thing I'm doing is adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, but I'm also adding just a touch of nutmeg and a touch of paprika. That just heightens the flavor. I don't know what it is. You can't taste it that much, but it just gives it a nice Just a nice burst of flavor. That's all I can really say. And then once I stir that in, they're ready to go. The soup is ready to go in the bowl. Thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me today. Today I showed you how to make your own broccoli and cheddar soup. It is perfect for these cool nights, this cool weather, and it's great as leftovers. This could definitely serve at least a family of 8. Um, or if it's just a few of you, you could have leftovers the next day. And like I said, just get you a side of French rolls, sourdough bread, whatever you like to go with it, or a salad, and you have soup and salad. Thanks for coming to the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me. Until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. But remember to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell. All right, I appreciate it, and thank you in advance. See you next time.